Alright gang, welcome back to our vintage survival here in Szpakowo. It is August, rain is in the forecast, which is not good. That's not what we want to see today. But nonetheless, we do have rain in the forecast, so hopefully we can get a bunch of this harvesting done before the rain gets here. We also have a lot of, well, quite frankly, we have a lot of drilling we need to do, but we also are going to have to pick up the straw that was remaining from the last episode on that field that we kind of expanded our yard into, and then obviously we were going to have straw on this field as well to take care of. Now, we've got quite a bit of things to harvest today as well. So the field we've already started on needs harvested. This long field here needs harvested. The field directly behind our initial starting yard needs harvested. This field needs harvested. This field needs harvested. So there's a lot to do, if I'm honest. And that's just from the harvesting perspective. We still have to do the drilling on all those fields from the last episode, or at least on the ones that we want to put canola into, or which is going to be quite a few, I think, today. So we've got a lot to do today. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, all things considered. So we're going to start off here with getting this field harvested up, and then I'm probably likely to put the worker on doing a little bit of the harvest on some of the other fields here for the time being, and I'm going to go ahead and get the straw taken care of. Now, we don't necessarily have to do all of the straw today. I totally get that, but I'd like to just get those cleaned up, and then we can decide what we're going to do with these fields. Does it mean we're going to drill those today? Not necessarily, no, but we can at least get that going. I could also have a worker start drilling some of the fields as well, and I might do that. We'll see on that one, but we're going to at least get a couple fields drilled today, that's for sure. I will tell you that. That's 100% going to be happening. Just not quite sure how many of those fields. The other thing I was thinking about with this field is, you know, this is a nice small field. This field to the left here, which is a grass field, is quite small as well. I'm considering buying this one and combining it with that field. You know, stuff like that has to happen. I want to do that as well with these fields down here. We got rid of this area here, 66, which had our greenhouses on it. So I said we were going to kind of expand 66 and 67 together. And then the same thing here with 68. It's got a bunch of empty space. We need to get rid of those trees, but I want to expand that as well. So likely those two fields will not be drilled today. But we have quite a few other fields that we can drill that are not those two anyway, right? We've got this big T-sectioned field here that I worked on. We've got the big field in front of the shop, right? We'll have this canola field over here. So we'll have enough, and we've got the field, obviously, where our yard was expanded into that can be re-drilled, right? So we've got quite a bit, if I'm honest. Now, the rain, I'm not sure, 14, so we should be able to be done, I think, with the episode by then. Now, we might end up doing 2 episodes in August, but at least for this first episode, we should, I think, be done, hopefully, with everything we need to accomplish. And more specifically, I'm talking from a harvesting perspective. Quite a few fields to harvest, don't get me wrong. We do have quite a few fields to harvest, but we're going to be kind of working in tandem with the worker here a little bit on this, right? So, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, I am actively getting ready to head out for a long weekend. My wife and I are going down to Orlando. I've mentioned this, I think, on the Luxury Tax Challenge. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on here, but there shouldn't be. I'm using air quotes, you can't see them, but there shouldn't be any kind of delay. You shouldn't miss any episodes or anything like that. I should have enough done and out there. But if there's not, for some reason, I'll let you know, as I always do. But I should. Also have people from work in town as well, so we've been going out and doing activities after work, so that's kind of been cutting into my ability to do videos, unfortunately, this week, but that's okay. We'll get them done. We'll get them done. Now we're just heading down there to check out the new Universal Park, Universal Epic Universe. We actually got lucky enough to go, this is a while ago, when they were doing previews. So everything wasn't working, everything wasn't open, right? But we got to do a lot of stuff, actually, more than we expected to do then. But this will be our first time going when it's actually open. Just a long weekend. We had planned this even before we knew they were doing previews. We bought this when they basically announced it and allowed you to start buying tickets for it. So we bought this a long time ago, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. A long time ago. So that field's done, so we're going to head on over here. We're going to put it on the worker, taking care of this canola field for us now, and then we're going to jump into the baler with the Volvo, and where we left off in the last episode, and get rid of the rest of the straw over there on the field that we expanded for the yard, and then we'll probably head on over here and get the rest of that wheat up off the ground there. I think that's the only other... Oh, what am I doing here? Whoops. Whoops. I don't know what I was doing. For some reason I thought, even though I just told you that that was canola, but for some reason I thought that was wheat. I don't know why I thought that. That was weird. It's a weird thing for me to do. Anyway, let's pull it over here to the side, and then we can get this unloaded. I don't want to utilize the Ford for this. It is slow. I like this thing. I'm not good at it, as we've all kind of agreed upon. We're not good with this thing. It seems like at least most people have agreed that we're all not good at that. But it's very slow. This is about 3 miles per hour faster, and it's much easier for me to handle maneuvering this through. So... So we got a lot of things to sell today, too, technically, if we want to. We got a bunch of silage here we can sell. We've got flour popping up. We've got those wood beams still. We've got $9,000. It's not a ton of money by any means, but I'm not really, except for that one field that we talked about at the beginning, maybe buying that. Other than that, I'm not really expecting to expand a whole lot. We've got enough that I want to do with what we currently have that I don't think we need to expand. So, you know, if we need the money, we can sell that stuff, but I'm not too concerned about it right now. The flour and stuff's not going to be best to sell right now anyway. Same with the wood beams, and really the silage doesn't fluctuate that much. So if we're going to sell something, it's probably going to be the silage. That one's not ready yet, evidently. Oh, no, I guess it is ready. I was looking at the wrong one. Okay. So I guess we could buy that field, too. That field would be something we could buy and harvest right now. It didn't look like it was that great of condition. It had a lot of weeds in it, but could buy it if we wanted to. All right, we are making some good progress here. Hold on a second, gang. I gotta move the microphone. We're making some good progress here. That was a pretty long time lapse there, but I'll speed it up, so it shouldn't be too bad. But one of the longer ones I've done in a while. But we got a lot of stuff done, right? We had to utilize the worker for a lot of it. Had a bit of an issue with the worker running into the pole there when we were trying to drill the field that we ended up taking over on. But for the most part, you know, we've had a pretty decent time here of getting a lot of this done. So a lot more done than I had expected to get done, if I'm honest with you. I was expecting to not be able to at least begin working on this field, and we're able to do that. So I had initially planned, we ran out of seed and fertilizer, obviously, in the drill, and I had planned to go up to the shop, because I do know we have some pallets just sitting there. But I was like, you know what? Let's just take some out of the planter there. It should have some, and it did. I had plenty for us to be able to fill that up and certainly get that field done, and probably another one. So I figured let's just go ahead and get that done too. Why not? Also got the straw up in that process as well, off that one field. We still have one bale of straw down there at the other end that we need to come over here and get, but I don't think we'll be drilling that field today anyway, so not a big deal. Good progress, though. Real good progress. Really good yield we're getting out of all this, so that's good. Just really, this is the last major thing that we need to harvest. We do have the sorghum field down here to harvest as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be today, though, as I mentioned. We might end up holding off on doing that one until the next episode, because we will be doing 2 episodes here in August this time. So we've got plenty to do. There's a lot of other things I want to accomplish in this month as well. So we might as well take our time and do two episodes, right? Now, one thing I did not check, and I probably should have, is checking on the chickens, and specifically checking the mill as well to make sure there's enough room, because we did put some harvest in there in the last episode, which was in July. I would suspect there's still some room, but there's not really a whole lot of room in that mill, if I'm honest with you. So once it gets full, it will not produce anymore, and it is full. So there you go. I stand corrected. We cannot make any more flour until we move some of that out of the way, so we need to do that as well. What I'd like to do, honestly, is take care of all these trees here that were going around. I think I talked about that last time, and then we didn't do it because we just ran out of time. But since we're going to do a couple episodes here in August, I would like to take some time to take those trees down. It won't be this episode, more than likely in the next episode, but that's something I would like to do. We're also going to work on doing the expansions that we talked about as well in the next episode, so that way we can have things set up and ready to go. The drilling for today, and more than likely in the next episode as well, will all be canola. Well, it's not even more than likely. It will all be canola because it's August and that's all we can do. But when September comes around, I believe... Actually, now that I said that, I might be saying that incorrectly. No, I'm right. In September, we can do barley and wheat. So we've got that as well as an option. I don't think we can do soybeans or sorghum anymore. We cannot. I didn't think so. So yeah, it's just going to be one of those 3 crops, really, that we're going to be putting in right now. And if we don't put anything in, then we'll be kind of holding off until next year. Now, we do have a period of time, I believe. No, we don't. So never mind. Ignore me. You didn't hear me say anything. All right, I'll put this back on a worker for right now. There's not much left to do here, so the worker should be okay now, especially with me, giving them a little bit of breathing room there. I'm going to take over for this worker here because they are going to have major issues. They should already be done by now. If it was me, I would have already been done. So we're just going to take over. That way we don't waste any more money than we have to. Now, one thing we're going to do today is we're going to remove that shed up there. We know we've got that 3rd shed that's just kind of sitting up there. One of the original sheds, right? It's just kind of sitting there. That is going to be removed. It's going to be taken away because we don't really need it right now, and I want to open up that area. There's a reason why I want to open up that area. Not going to tell you what that reason is right now, but there is a reason why I want to open up that area. We are going to be putting something there, hopefully. As long as it fits, right? Whatever I'm going to put down there, if it doesn't fit, then we're going to figure something else out. But I think it will. I think it will. We've got quite a bit of silage and quite a bit of straw in our silage pole, so definitely something we need to think about getting rid of here relatively soon is some of that. I could turn it on to auto selling. Like, that's an option, right? I had planned on just going and selling that outright, but straw right now is not going to be best to sell. Give me a second here, and I'm going to... yeah, it's the worst time to sell it right now, actually. It doesn't fluctuate all that much, but 20 bucks is 20 bucks, right? That's extra profit for us, so we might as well wait until the winter months and get that extra 20 bucks per 1,000 liters. Lots and lots of pickles have been produced, as you can tell. We probably also need to take a look, because I didn't really fill up in the last episode when we kind of expanded our greenhouse area. I did not really fill up the greenhouses really, like, you know, kind of to max or anything like that, right? They still had some I know what? I did fill them up to max, didn't I? I did. Never mind. We're okay. I forgot about that. We upgraded the water tank. I completely forgot about that. It's been a couple of days, so... Now, there's a high chance, right? There's a high probability, I guess, is what I should say, that we might need a third shed again. But we're not going to be putting it up here where it is. I'm kind of removing this to give ourselves a little bit more space by the pickles, among other things that I already talked about, right? I'm going to put something else over here, hopefully, potentially. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the solid fertilizer back into this. Like I said, there's a ton up at the shop, but we've got to get up there and get it, whether we take a machine up there, drill, or whether we just take our skid steer up there, or whatever it may be. We've got to do some work to get those back here. So we got one field drilled. We can still probably do another field, honestly, and I think we're going to start that here in just a second. We're going to use the Volvo for this. I think we're going to be able to get up... I think we're going to do the one up by the shop. I think that makes a lot of sense. That way I can pick up some more seed and fertilizer this way. Although I won't be able to pick up a whole lot of fertilizer because we're almost full with this, but, you know, still. Now, our chickens, they're fine. I mean, they could use some food for sure, but they're fine. They're not in a terrible spot, so they're okay. Our grass field also can be mowed today if we want to. We're not going to do it today, but we could mow it today if we want. It is in a good spot to be able to be mowed. Don't really need it to, honestly. The only thing we would be doing with it if we were to mow it was to put it into our silage pole, so not really something we need anyway. A little tight quarters here driving down the middle of the road like this, but, you know, we're okay with this drill. The other one's a little more dicey. That's why I normally go into the back roads, really, with these, just because it's a little bit easier, right? A little bit easier. We're going to put canola right back into this field. I like the canola in this field. This field is a little confusing for the worker. They have a hard time turning a lot of the time, so what I'm going to do here before I put it on a worker is kind of give a little bit of a baseline here. Bit of a headland pass, I guess, if you will. I'm going to go left and right here by the flags a couple of times, just so that way they have plenty of room to turn around. They're not going all the way to the end. That's where they seem to have issues. They go to the end and they get stuck on the fence, and then they just continue to drive right into the fence. Similar to what you saw, I'm sure, in the time-lapse with the worker in the Ford, just driving straight into the telephone pole. While we're here, let's just go ahead and fill this up real quick. Perfect. The solid fertilizer, for whatever reason, was over there. I think we dropped it over here by the cars, and I think they moved it. The people at the shop here moved it out of the way, which, I mean, makes sense if you think about it. I have stuff in the way for cars to park. They want cars to park there and come into the shop, right? So it makes sense, but kind of lost it for a minute. I was like, where do they go? I know we had some up here, and then that's where they were. They're just sitting over there. So we'll do one more here, then we'll throw down a worker. I know there's not a whole lot left of this field, and I probably could do it, you know, just as fast, but like I said, we're going to do a few other things here. We're going to focus on a few other things here and have the worker continue on here with us for this. All right, back it up here. Throw it on a worker. We should be good. All right, worker's going. So, we've got this canola here, which I don't know how full the worker is here. They're not full at all, so we'll just leave that there for right now. That's not going to harm anything. Okay, so we want to go ahead and get rid of this now that I got rid of everything else out of here. We can go ahead and do that. So let's remove that. We're going to do a little smoothing here. Try to make this look a little bit better. Sorry about the frame rate drop there, gang. It just, there's a lot going on over here, and when I'm smoothing stuff up, it doesn't seem to like that a whole lot. Alright, that's good enough. That's good enough. So, what am I going to do over here? Well, realistically, what I'd like to do is upgrade our chicken coop and add something new over here. Now, is the one we have now fine? Yeah, it is. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it doesn't produce a whole lot, right? I'd like to get a little bit more product from our chickens, a little more eggs out of our chickens, right? There's nothing wrong with where it is, and it's going to open up this space a little bit more. Eventually, the sawmill will go away, so we'll have a little bit more space here too, which is nice. But we don't really produce a whole lot from those chickens, right? So I want to get a little bit more. Now, the problem here is what we currently have has 20. Yeah, 20. So if I upgrade to any of these ones that kind of come with the map here, which are really large, they're still only giving us 20. So that's the problem, right? If we're going to upgrade, really, I mean, I probably want to go this route. And going this route is obviously going to take up quite a bit of space too, right? More than likely what I would do is something like this, maybe move the silage pole in the process, but something like this, and then kind of go out this way. Okay, well, we know, at least for now, we need $79,000 for that to work. Obviously, I don't have $79,000, so that is obviously not going to happen. But, you know, at least we have an idea of how much it's probably going to cost us. Now, how much silage do we have in here? A whole lot. 89,000 liters of silage. I'd like to go do that. I also have talked about wanting to get a flatbed or a trailer for the truck here. What is in the used market today? Anything? Not really. Nothing for us, at least. So, you know... Low loader, sorry, not flatbed. They're expensive, too. We don't really have the money for that, either. Yeah, we don't really have the money for any of this, unfortunately, although I'd like to have some of this stuff. We don't really have the money for it yet. Maybe soon we will, but we don't really have the money for it yet. So, what are we going to do? Well, first of all, as a matter of fact, I don't know what this worker doing. I don't know what they're doing. They are just wasting my money. First things first here, let's move our little trailer out of the way, because I'm going to need that space to move some of that flour over. Let's move some of that flour out of the way. And then two, we need to run over to the other side and pick up that straw bale that's remaining. If you recall, there's one bale of straw that did drop out on that other field that we harvested. And then subsequently baled, right? So I'm just going to move this out of the way. I think for the time being... I'm going to put it right here. Whether this is in the right spot to put it or not, that's where I'm going to put it. Gotta continue to use this thing, man. I gotta get used to it. It is not my forte at all. I've mentioned that a number of times, and a lot of people have also agreed with me in the comments that that's not their thing, the articulate tractors. But I gotta get better at it, so I'm gonna keep utilizing it every once in a while at least. Okay, so let's see if we can move a few of these out of the way. Now, I'm not going to do all of this on camera. That would be relatively boring, but let's at least get a few of them out of the way here. What I should have did was a mistake already. What I should have did was just back up and try to put one on top of the other one like I did in the past. That way, you know, it's not as much. We don't have to pick up as many whenever it comes time to sell these, right? Let's try to do that now. If we can get one to spawn. If we get a flower to spawn, it'll probably be canola oil. Today, sometime, thank you. It was not. Very surprised by that. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can stack these on top of here. It's probably gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. Gentle, gentle. Alright, perfect. It worked out better than I thought. It's not the best stack in the world, but it worked out. Alright, worker H has completed the task. I doubt that. I highly doubt that, but they say they've completed it, so let's just move a few more of these. That way we can get the flower continue to actually produce, because we want that to produce, because here in the winter months, this is going to make us a lot of money. Okay. Oh, maybe they did do it. I stand corrected. I am sorry that I questioned you. I apologize. You did do it all. Very, very surprised by that. Well, that's good. Alright, so we can get the rest of this unloaded. We've got quite a few more fields that need to be drilled here, gang. Quite a few more. All of this canola is going to go straight into the mill. We want the canola oil out of this if at all possible. It's going to make us a lot more money in the long run. So we definitely want that. And there you go. The worker stuck once again, stuck on a telephone wire or telephone pole. Go figure. Right? Go figure. Alright, so that field should be done. Air quoting it right now, but it should be done. It looks pretty done to me. We're going to head over here and just fill this up with some solid fertilizer while we're here. Like I said, we want to try to get this stuff back to the shop or to the yard if at all possible. So I'm going to set the worker off on starting on another field over here. Probably won't finish it, but at least not today, not in this episode, but at least get them started. And then that way, you know, whenever we pick up the next episode, they can just carry on, right? And there they go. Perfect. All right, we are moving along here. We've got the flour coming out of the mill now, so that's going to help big time. I really wish this mill had more space, so we didn't have to, you know, bring these out as often as we are right now. Okay, I think we're good now. I think we're good. Let's do a quick autosave here. Let's take a look. Let's see. Old grain mill. Here we go. Flour. Yeah, there's enough in there. There's enough room in there now. The canola oil is going to start becoming a problem, but there's enough room in there. There's enough room in there. Pickled lettuce is happening. Still plenty of room in the pickled lettuce, so nothing to worry about or being concerned about there. So that's good. So this is full. Let's tank this back now. We can drop this off in the mill. Now, I don't suspect the mill will be able to hold all of this. The mill, for whatever reason, has a very small capacity, as we just talked about, right? It's a very, very small capacity. Actually, it is going to be able to hold the canola. It just doesn't have a very big outgoing capacity, for whatever reason, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's a little weird, right? You would think that it would have similar or the same amount of capacity, whether it's incoming or outgoing. But that's just simply not the case. So, also, I got destroyed by the windmill when I was trying to unload this. I'm sure you saw that. That's new. That one was new. I wasn't expecting that to happen. So we're going to try to go at it at a bit of a different angle here. I got to get those twigs out of the way, too. I forgot about that. Got to get rid of those. Alright, so we'll dump it there. Perfect. And it didn't take all of it, which I kind of, for some reason, was expecting it to take all of it, but why didn't it? Okay, maybe I just moved or something. I don't know. I was going to say, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense why it just stopped all of a sudden. That was weird. But anyway, we are going to leave the episode at that point, gang. We are going to have a second episode here in August. As I mentioned, we're going to kind of take care of the remaining things we have to do. Harvest the sorghum field, get more fields drilled, probably take out some trees, move some of the flour around, probably sell some stuff too, like the silage, for example. And we'll see where we get to as far as money goes. I think the goats are okay. I didn't check on the goats for water-wise. Yep, they're good. They're good. Everything's fine there in the goats. So, yeah, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like and subscribe button for me. Thanks so much to my continued members. I cannot thank you guys enough. And thanks for your continued support. We'll see you next time.